Okay, so this is Blade and Sorcery VR. It's actually a very good game, and well, I mean, it's better if I show you because I'm not good at explaining things whatsoever. So I'm playing this on the Quest 2. So it's Blade and Sorcery Nomad. PC VR Blade and Sorcery is a lot better graphics. As you can see, it's not the best, but I mean it's good enough. So to start off, you have this character. I'll create a new one. Just quickly put some random things on. Okay, our guys. Okay, so yeah, your height. So the height thing with the Blade and Sorcery like start thing, you have to put your height in to make sure the characters are the same height as you, or you can make them taller to make it a lot more convincing. And you always start off with the default thing, which is a dagger and a blade, and this right here is what you call your home room, a lobby. You know, I mean, this is only a solo player game, but I highly recommend it. But you can take whatever you want, but I am fine with what I've got so far. So you come over here to this map. I'll go into arena. Okay, so now we're in arena, which is one of my favorite maps because it's one of the smallest. So it's quite easy to move around and such. So, right. So what you can do is you go to this book, which you can do your waves, as it says, and then you've got this book that that gives you all your weapons. And well, if you press on the Quest 2, there's a button with 3 lines on your left controller. You do that and a book appears. You go up to this bucket and you can see all the cheats that you can do, which is a lot more fun if you're invincible because you don't die. Infinite mana, focus, which I'll get to later, infinite imbue, and infinite arrows. And you can also turn off full damage and armor detection, which I'm not going to do. Slowing time, that it also said there at the bottom, is the focus, because the focus, right, makes you move a lot slower, slow motion. You'll easily be able to see it, and I mean telekinesis is cool. But this game is very cool, although the bad graphics. So if we just start with the training is to get used to the game, and you just go through the recruit waves. Sometimes this game can be a bit glitchy, but it's still a cool game. Right, so you come up against these guardians in training mode, and it's a 1v1, which is a lot more fun. And you can turn on blood and gore graphics, which definitely make the game a lot more fun, but can also make it a bit more glitchy as it puts blood on your weapon. Obviously they are computer program, so you swiftly learn the moves of all of the all the moves that they use, and right now it's pretty boring. You can also interact with them with your hand, which is kind of fun because you can just punch him to death. Jumping and slashing is pretty awesome too, and you can enable and disable de-limbing stuff. You could chop off pretty much every limb. So, once you got your sword, well, now you know that. I mean, you can press on your right hand. You press the button that's furthest away, so B on this controller if you're on quest 2, and it slows it down. Also does slow you down, but it's a good trade-off because you can move slightly slower, as you can see. Don't know where I got an axe from, but I got one. But yeah, this is all it does, and the slowing time that we saw in the menu just earlier, that's what it does. It just slows it down more, but can, as it does say, can lead to some more difficulties playing the game. So I would just leave it the average, normal one. Now, we're going to do training again, just to show you all the mechanics, which I think is really cool because the mechanics are actually very in-depth. Well, not really, but, you know, see, you can press the button that's closest to you on both controllers to activate a magic menu in which you can select. So on this controller it's A, and on this controller it's X. And you hold them, point to which one you want, so I'll go both fire, and I can create fire, which is fireballs, which kill in 2 hits unless you get a headshot. So I'm going to showcase all the magic. So this magic shoots electricity, but you can obviously saw it like this if you pull them back. But if you push your hand forwards, you shoot forwards. When they're stunned, you can hit them really far, which makes this game a whole lot better. See? They go flying. That's why this game's so fun. Okay. Now this purple one is gravity magic, which pushes people away. But if you make direct contact, they go flying. Okay. But this gravity magic does have an extra feature, where when you put them both together, you can, unless you get hit, you can put both of the, oh my god, it's not working. Sometimes it is a bit shoddy. Okay, stop letting me do it. Okay, just wait. And then you, why are you not, oh, and then you pull apart, yes, and then it's like a gravity field. Oh. That you can just come back into the gravity field so I can. Oh my god. Bye. Oh, she's dead. Okay, that's all the magic. And if you want to deselect it, just click it and go to this middle white magic circle, if you will. That's pretty much all the mechanics of the game, except crouching with this thumbstick down and thumbstick up makes you jump. Turning like that is kind of weird. Most people just turn in real life. It takes a while to get used to the controls because this is the joystick that moves you. Oh, sometimes this does happen where you can't make contact with their body with your hand, which then in that case you just have to touch them. Even a weapon would be fine, and then you can slap them to their heart content. Whoa, to your heart's content. There you go. I mean, there's a wide variety of weapons, and one other feature is if you press down on this thumbstick, you can kick people. And if you grab their neck, I mean, they're pretty much incapacitated. You shove them to the floor and they die. It's pretty... Oh, I can't do thumbs up in this game. Pretty good. Okay, well now we're going to move on to something a bit harder, which is actually where the fun comes in. But these are all the categories. You got daggers, swords, axes, spears, blunt objects, which are like maces and hammers, exotics, bows, staves, shields, and potions. You can mod this game, but I don't have any mods installed just yet. So there's not too many weapons in all of these. So I think the swords have the most variety. So this up here is a longsword, so you have to double hand it and it makes it go faster. Okay, but if you do it like that, it kind of lag behind. But this was this is a very light one. Okay, look. This is one of the lighter ones, so you can't really tell. But as you can see, these are all the modes. These are all the modes, and you've got these endless modes, which just are endless. You've got different ones. You've got the gladiators, the bandits, the knights, and you've got 1v1s, which is actually pretty good. So I'm going to do progressive 1v1s, which are actually pretty decent. Because as time goes on, the difficulty obviously progresses. Oh, quick fact, if you stab their arm, they drop their weapon. I mean, yeah, it just happened then. So, you can also get, if you stab their arm, they will also try and go for a new weapon. But, don't know why that one didn't. Oh my god. So... Oh, I never actually explained it, did I? Oh. So, if you're trying to pick up something, you go to it until this marker shows. Then you press the grab button. And then pull it towards you with the trigger. The controls are self-explanatory if you have played a game on a console. So, yes. Another cool thing that you can do with this game is impute. So, if you use your magic on it, so right now it's on the electrocution one. Okay, let's just let this guy do it. If you put the electrocution on, the sword, you can clearly see it turns blue. So if I just tap him in the head, you see it electrocutes them. So even if you like slash, they're electrocuted, but they're not dead. Okay, now he's dead. Another way to find out if he's died or not is if he's dropped his weapons. So yeah, now next we'll try fire, which is one of the best ones, because you have armor. Whoops, I accidentally just killed him with a fireball. Okay, so this one can pierce through pretty much everything. Like all the armor. See, this is a bandit due to the leather tunic. I'm guessing. See, look, it can, oh, whoa. Okay, my just disappeared. Okay, no, I have this one. It's fine. Okay, so see how this guy is a knight? Let me just get this. Right, I'll try and stab him. Right. Okay. I'll break. Stop. Oh my god, I didn't want to do that, but sure. Okay, wait. Now, look. You can see, it doesn't let you stab him where this armor is. I mean, it lets you electrocute them, but you have to apply a lot more force, and it repels it. So, if you throw it, it goes in. Yeah. But then if we have a fire sword, it goes straight through the armor. It can also go straight through shields, which makes it highly usable in pretty much all scenarios in the game. But the next one is actually a very good enchantment for weapons. such as the swords. I'll grab this one. So this next one is gravity, which makes it go purple, which is actually pretty cool. Slap them, they'll get this the effect around them. Right now I'm in slow motion to explain all this to you, but yeah, it makes them move gravity, so you can slap them about after you hit them. This one's usually used for blunt force objects to make them a lot more deadly. See, you just slap them up once they're about to hit you. Okay, however, the enchantments do a lot more if you have a magical staff. So it doesn't start off with any enchantments, so you're gonna have to enchant it. First, well, I'll just show you what the electricity one does. It doesn't actually do anything, right? If you hit people with it, they get electrocuted. Okay? That's pretty much it. So it's a pretty bad power, if I'm being honest. And as I put infinite imbue, all of these imbuements of the magical power will run out eventually unless you have infinite imbue enabled, which sometimes can be bad because mage's magic can always disenchant something you've done. So and now we'll try fireballs, which if you have infinite imbue on is actually crazy. Okay, right, so you can't, if I press, you have to press A or the closest button to your finger with it. You can always hold these staffs with one hand because you don't necessarily need to move them that much, but if you move the staff you shoot a fireball, but be wary that they can deflect it. They just did. But you don't have to move the staff, you can just walk and shoot through the weapon. Obviously this runs out if you have infinite imbue disabled. Okay, well, on to the next one, which is by far one of the best ones. Gravity magic. If there is a prominent change in colour, you know it's obviously been turned to the max. Right, so all you have to do for this one is slam it to the ground. Which, trust me, if anyone's seen Lord of the Rings, will know why this one's so great. Straight into the spikes as well. This obviously does have like a cooldown until the last one has stopped, because you can't just keep. See, you have to wait until the purple explosion around you has dissipated. You can obviously whack people with it, so they get the gravity enchantment, and then just smack the ground, so they go flying even higher and then drop, which is very fun. And then you just bye. Falls always kill them. I mean, she went out the map, so she could possibly be alive, but she's not because she fell. Okay. However, sometimes using this can hit them up onto these balconies that you can actually climb onto, but you're not supposed to because it glitches out the map, kind of. This is my favourite staff, as you can tell. Right, so this is the only object that, okay, see, this is the reason why this is sometimes happens when if you have gore on, but it can easily be fixed by just stabbing or slicing another person and it returns. See, look, if I drop that, it floats due to the gravity enchantment. This is one of the only... Whoa, okay. So, if you see this floats because of gravity enchantment, this doesn't. It's the only one that doesn't. And that will just continue to fly away. And, you can obviously control it where you want to go. and if you press both of push and pull, which is A and the trigger, but on the other controller it's X and the trigger, so the trigger pulls it to your hand and the button pulls it away. And if you press both at the same time, it activates that, which you can pull and push, but be careful that you don't press them both at the same time. Sometimes this can be a bit overpowered. To do that, everything just gets thrown away. You can obviously use other people's weapons that you've looted. Right, this is a sandbox mode, not a dungeon. I mean, dungeons are sandbox, but it doesn't necessarily matter. So, with this, it also comes with exotics, which is the rapier, this wrist blade, yes, and a dual-bladed staff. But now the bow, right? For this one, I'm actually going to turn off infinite arrows, which literally just spawns an arrow when you shoot, which is actually a very good way to do it, instead of carrying a quiver, because you need... And the reason... So, you pick up an arrow with the grip button, place it on the bow, locks on, and you shoot. Many people don't like the bow, because they think it's hard to aim, but I can tell you that if you pull it, and put your hand behind the head, you can aim with your left or your right eye with this little spike that's on the top of that arrow, and then it will go pretty much to that place, which is a very good way to aim with your bow. But if you want to take the quiver off, right, taking out 50 odd arrows is not going to do it. Okay, it's just a waste of time. Press the trigger, and then you can grab the quiver. Okay, it's a very simple mechanic, but I didn't know it when I first started to play. But potions are pretty simple. There's one here. You literally just pull the cork off, pour it on your face, and it tells you the percentage of how much is left up the top. The cork stops it from spilling. I mean, obviously. And that's gonna wrap it up, because I think I've been recording for a bit. Well, oh, I'm turning into a glow man. Well, see you later. Goodbye.